Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Homestand TV. I'm your host, Celine Trimarchi, alongside my co-host, Justin Pooni. Now, Justin, before we get into it, how was your winter break?
It was good. I was good to spend some time back home, see some family, some friends, have a whole lot of turkey, have a whole lot of alcohol. Got to go back to my first Canucks game. Yeah, it was good.
How was the
It was
Canucks
good
game?
spending time away from you.
Oh,
I'm
hurtful.
kidding. I'm kidding. I missed you every day. I'm
Yeah,
kidding.
I know. I'm the only one in the studio that you actually missed. Let's
Yeah,
be honest here.
True, yeah, for sure.
How was the Canucks game? They won,
It was
right?
good. They won 6-2, but then they lost every other game after that. So
But did you go to those games or no?
no, I just went to one
Okay,
game.
so
I
there
just
you
went to
go.
one game. So
That's all that matters.
that's all
At
that
least
matters.
the game that you were at, you brought the luck.
I did, yeah.
You brought the luck. Well, let's talk about unluckiness, I guess you can say. Last night, the Toronto Maple Leafs, they tried to come back, but they just simply couldn't. They lost in the shootout 5-4. But Auston Matthews hit the 500-point mark, the milestone. Do you think he's like one of the greats?
Well,
so
he's
far?
the fastest.
Should we talk about this? Or?
He's the fastest player to reach that
Yeah.
mark in Maple Leafs history, passing Matt Sundin and Rick Vive. Look, Auston Matthews, he's 60 goal scorer, MVP, all that stuff. Will go down as one of the best players in Maple Leafs history, but I don't know if we can say he's the greatest player in Leafs history because of the postseason. And I think as we all know in all
Yeah.
sports, right? That's where you make your legacy.
Yep.
In the playoffs, with those guys that come up big when the games matter the most, they are remembered forever. Now, Matt Sundin, they went to the Eastern Conference Finals a couple times when he was in Toronto. They had more playoff success than Auston Matthews can ever dream of, right? So for me, yes, Auston Matthews might be the most talented player, the most skilled player in Leafs history, but he's not the greatest yet. He has to have playoff success before we anoint him or give him that title, and I think that's kind of obvious, right? All those people out there that think Matthews is the greatest of all time, I think it's a lot of revisionist history, like they get caught up in it. Oh, he's the best player in the Leafs right now. The Leafs have been really good the last couple of years. Regular season,
Absolutely.
right? But he's not the best player of all time.
No, I know. You know what? I actually agree with you on that too, because the playoff is where you have to prove yourself.
That's where you make your money.
That's
right?
where you make it. Yeah, that's the make or break. I mean, you can be an A1 player all through the regular season, but you have to prove that in the postseason.
Case in point, look at guys like Joe Thornton, and guys like that. They had really great regular season success. I mean, Joe Thornton did make it to the Stanley Cup Finals, but guys that never got it done when it matters most, unfortunately, they're not remembered. You look at any of the landscape across all sports, and it's like, I think it's a old military or war saying that the victor writes.
You're full of sayings.
I know I am.
You always have
I'm just an encyclopedia of all different types of things, but it's true. The victors are the people that write the stories, right? So we're only gonna hear about people that won. You're gonna remember the people that didn't get there, but the people that win get to write the story and tell their own story. That's why guys like Crosby, Gretzky, Lemieux, Howe, all these guys that we consider are the greatest of all time, because they won. On top of being great regular season players, because they won and they came up big when it mattered.
I'm just curious to see how long Matthews is going to stay with the Toronto Maple Leafs team.
We talked about it before we went on break, right?
Yeah, we did.
It's a big year. I don't know. Like does he like being the biggest star in the second or third biggest hockey market in the NHL? Yeah, but does he also envision maybe wanting to have a different lifestyle? Because the lifestyle here is you're under a very big microscope. Does he want to be, just have a somewhat of a regular life, or does he like being the biggest rock star in one of the biggest seasons in the NHL? That's up to him to decide. But also, I think, does he see the writing on the wall that this team is just never gonna hit that limit, hit that mountaintop where he wants to go?
I'm sorry, say that last part again. What, the Leafs are never going to hit what?
The mountaintop. Reach the mountaintop. They're never going to win the Stanley Cup.
You think they're never going to
I'm not saying they have the talent to, but does he see something that we don't know? That this team's just not good enough. Hey, I think the Leafs are very talented, but are they mentally good enough to win the Stanley Cup?
It's a mental game.
Yeah. You saw it last night. They got behind. They had a sloppy start, and then they had to climb back. And a lot of nights in the NHL, you can't fall behind, even against a team like St. Louis who's struggling, because if you have to play catch up, it's a bad recipe to play with.
And usually it's the other way around. The Leafs always have the lead and they just blow it.
Yes,
I'm sorry, guys. That's what happens with Toronto Maple Leafs. But we love our team. We're diehard Leafs fans at heart.
I don't know about that, but okay.
We bleed blue. It's in our blood.
Okay, for sure.
We'll win the Stanley Cup.
Okay.
Maybe this is our year.
I see the New Year, same delusion. Yeah.
Okay, anyways, Justin, let's talk about a player who has been absolutely out freaking standing. Connor Bedard in the World Juniors. This kid is insane. Like, I cannot wait to see him play in the NHL. That goal against Slovakia was insane.
Yeah.
Like, he deked out everybody. I saw the live reaction and I listened to the crowd, and as soon as he deked out the second defenseman, everyone was like, "Oh!" And then he scored, and it was just like insane. The kid's a machine.
To pull a move off like that in that setting,
Yes.
at that stage,
Yep.
in overtime of an elimination game in the World Juniors, it was unbelievable. But it shows you the confidence this kid has. And to be honest, I tend to not really take too much stock into junior hockey. But with this guy and the way he dominates junior hockey, you have to have your eyeballs on. You see the things he does, the clips of what he does, just the immense amount of skill and just how he can just control the game. And you're seeing that on the biggest stage in junior hockey.
It's
He is
insane.
dominating, breaking every single.
Record.
He is rewriting the Canadian and the World Junior record book as we go along. It's unbelievable what we're seeing, and I think teams that are professional teams are like trying to just tank now, like deliberately tank to try to get Bedard.
Toronto tank for Bedard.
It might not be a bad idea to take a year off and tank for Bedard. But seriously, like just the skill he has, the confidence he has. His shot, I know he pulled off a deke in the overtime, but his shot, he shoots the puck all the time. I think there's a stat in the WHL, has double the amount of shot attempts as a second person.
You want to know, so when he does shoot too, I saw like a clip of this on TikTok because we love TikTok. They always post everything. But when you watch the game, it looks like just an effortless shot. Like he just shoots the puck. But when you zoom into his face, he is using every single force in his body, that he squints his face when he shoots. Like he shoots it so hard, but to us, it just looks so effortless. But he's just unbelievable. Like honestly, he is a straight hockey player. He's hockey.
Now I will say this, so let's just temper the expectations. Yes, he could be the next McDavid.
Too, right?
He could be the next McDavid, the next Crosby, all that. But I really hate putting all this pressure on, especially guys that are 17, 18 years old, coming into the league and have to be a savior of a franchise. Now, he looks like he could be one, right?
Yeah,
like a Crosby, a McDavid. But let's just let him play. Let him enjoy the game. And we saw, that in-game intermission interview he did with after the first period last game, right?
Yep.
And people just ask him questions about records and stuff like that and all that stuff, which is great. But you also remember he's still an 18-year-old kid, and he's still gonna, he's still got a lot of room to grow.
He has to be PR trained.
Yeah, exactly.
He has to be
exactly.
PR trained. He's just a young kid right now, but I mean that will take time, and he'll get there eventually for sure. But Canada and the USA semifinals.
Yeah, big game tonight. I haven't really got a chance to watch all. I've watched parts of games.
Yep.
But this game I'll be tuned into because it's Canada versus the US. Winner goes to the gold medal game. And
Canada-US is the best rivalry.
To be honest though, seeing Canada play, I think Connor Bedard's greatness masks the fact that this Canadian team is not that good. From what I've seen, I think like they have some good players, good pieces. Shane Wright's on that team as well.
I know our defense is kind of
and I think having Connor Bedard kind of like glosses over that. So Canada's got to play a really good game because the U.S. is a very good team. So
it's going to be quite a match. But just to say, Canada's won 33 of the 48 all-time meetings between the USA. So I'm gonna just put that out there. Hockey is Canada's game. Remember the slogan?
Yes.
Hockey is Canada's game.
But hey, it's the world's game now too.
It's the world's game. Yes. Let's put that out there. But anyways, thank you all for listening on the Homestand TV. I'm your host, Celine Trimarchi, alongside my co-host, Justin Pooni. Let's go Canada.